Welcome to Hunny Walia shows. I'm your host, Sonal Fool. In our attempt to provide you more information, what is happening in the society, what is the current issues, we always bring the people from the community, from the politics, politicians, ministry, people who are involved in the social issues, what they are doing good, and they provide us information, they create awareness, they give us what they have done to make our society better and the future be more brighter, working with the youth, working with the ministry, working with the different organization. On a same attempt, we have brought today MLA Seale Turton, who is elected to the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, representing the constituency of Spruce Grove Stony Plain. And Turton has before become, he is also standing committee on a public account, standing committee on a resource stewardship, standing committee on jobs and economic member policy. He is also the private sector union license for the Ministry of Labor, Immigration, worked with the Alberta Environment Parks on the Constitution of Engagement and extended producer responsible. Before becoming the involving in federal provincial politics, he was also a city councillor three times, if I'm right. He has also involved in the communities, leagues, and a local 1325. Welcome, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sonny. Happy to be here.
Before I say, did I pronounce your name properly?
Yeah, you were pretty close. So my name is Seale Turton, and so it's kind of like Earl with an S. So it's a bit of a weird name for sure, but I've heard every pronunciation you can imagine, so it's all good.
And, thank you for making me comfortable, because I was so, cautious pronouncing it properly. I said, what should I call him, by the first name or just calling him Sir or boss? Before, like now, you have been a city councillor, you have been involved in local unions, now you are being a MLA and involved with the ministry also. What the journey has been, any thoughts about it?
Yeah, no, obviously, thanks for that. It has been an amazing journey. As you kind of mentioned in your preamble, I was a city councillor for a couple terms in Spruce Grove as well. And so I had lots of municipal government experience. And then being elected as the MLA for Spruce Grove and Stony Plain is an incredible opportunity. And this has been home for me for decades. I graduated from high school here in Spruce Grove. I'm raising my kids here in the city as well. I've coached soccer here. I've served on the library board. I'm always down at the local leisure center. So anytime you have an ability to represent home, to bring those voices of my friends and neighbors that I've known for decades to the legislatures is always an incredible opportunity and a privilege, one that I'm very thankful to be able to experience.
Thank you, sir. And I really appreciate, sir, to be connected with the community, connected with the local community. So when you are connected with the grassroots, you always know what is happening, right? I think that also represented when you gave a latest awareness version on the Pride Month at the legislature. So, when you mentioned, I have never heard the Pride in the Park, in the Stony, that how you celebrate the Pride Month in your Stony Plain area. Could you tell us more about the Pride in Park, what the concept is?
Yeah, no, absolutely glad to. So Pride in the Park was an initiative put together by a fantastic Stony Plain resident, Tanis Matthews, and really was as a showcase, an ability to have games and create a welcoming atmosphere so residents all over the Parkland County, Spruce Grove, and Stony Plain area can come on out to. Typically, we meet in person. We did a crosswalk painting, obviously, a couple years ago, which was pretty cool to be a part of. I was very thankful that I was able to participate in that. Now, obviously, over the last 14 months, we've had this small thing called COVID that has stopped us from meeting in purpose, or meeting together in person. So we're going to be having a bit of a virtual session this year, but there's still going to be Pride activities happening. I know Spruce Grove has a GSA club as well, and they're going to be having a vehicle parade through the city later on this month, which I have participated in the past. Actually, last year I was very thankful that Minister here and MLA Brad Rutherford came out. He's the MLA for Leduc-Beaumont, also came out here, as well as Minister Nally, to help show support for Pride here in Spruce Grove as well. So we have two incredible and vibrant clubs that are dedicated to talking about inclusiveness and LGBTQ2S plus issues here in our area. And every year I've helped support them with gift baskets and giving exposure. And I'm really thankful to all the volunteers that made these events fantastic out here in our neck of the woods.
Well, thank you. You know, one thing, it's support and creating the awareness and creating a platform where everyone can come and participate and learn is the most important thing. And as a local MLA, what you're doing is really, incredible, incredible. Giving you opportunity to come together. In a Pride Month, when we talk about it, it's also as we are celebrating the diversification, right? In my opinion, we are basically welcoming everyone without any sexual orientation, what you beliefs are, what you are, just come and celebrate. In your opinion, why it is so important, why we need to celebrate Pride Month?
Well, it's important. I mean, even going back to the Stonewall riots, about how for decades, and there were so many people that didn't feel safe or accepted in their in their community. And for myself as an elected official, as a leader in the community, as someone that's been a part of the greater capital region for so many years, I feel it's important for elected officials to be able to show and tell everyone it's safe to be yourself. You should not be discriminated or picked on or bullied because of sexual orientation or religion or any of those issues. I guess I would say, many years ago, I had a close family member I spent a lot of time with, came out, started transitioning, was bullied mercilessly online and ended up committing suicide. And, Katie's story resonating with me really helped me understand some of the pain, some of the just absolute terror that some people have, members of the LGBTQ2S plus community have, and that freedoms that I take for granted, being able to go down the street and be free of harassment, is not the same case for members of the Pride community. So Pride is important. And that's why even as a city councillor, I made a point of attending after school GSA clubs here in our community at the public library. It was important to show support. Everyone should feel safe to be able to meet together and be free of bullying and harassment. And that's why I put that Pride statement in the legislature, I believe it was last week. And I've been very thankful to work with Minister here, who has been just such a tremendous advocate for the Pride community here in the province. I know it was really because of her leadership that we did the Stars of Alberta Volunteer Awards with a separate category specifically designated towards people that raise issues of inclusion and really promote diversity here in our province. And that's really through her leadership. So I'm very thankful for Minister here in those regards. And obviously anything I can do to help promote Pride events here in the capital region, I'm always up for a good time. So
thank you. And one thing, acknowledging all the volunteers who are basically, thank you to you, thank you to Mrs. Minister Ayer, acknowledging the people, volunteers who are coming forward and, creating information, bringing all the people with all the diversification on one platform. It's very important. And, I'm safety person. So in safety organizations also, we are talking about it. We are acknowledging there is a problem, but this problem is also moving forward. We have the solutions, or we have to work together. I've recently with the CSSC, we have started the diversity and inclusion in safety and work environment. In construction industry, it has been a taboo. It is changing, but we need to do more a little bit. What your thoughts are on it?
Well, obviously, and thankfully, I think the awareness of Pride issues, gender diversity is definitely increasing. My background's construction. I'm a journeyman carpenter and journeyman scaffolder, worked many years out in the oil patch too, and since the late 90s. And I can honestly say that the attitude towards gender diversity inclusion has definitely changed over the last 20 years. We have a long ways to go still, and I'm looking forward to helping promote those groups that are trying to increase the amount of acceptance for members of the pride community and LGBTQS plus here in our province. But we have a long ways to go. But we are making progress. I mean, I remember 25 years ago, it would have been unheard of to have a pride flag on your work coveralls or to talk about something like that. But now there's a greater acceptance, definitely amongst those blue collar trades. And it's not just to pick on the blue collar construction industries or oil field, it's white collar, it's our general society. So, but even I know with pride now being celebrated at many schools, and it just becoming socially unacceptable to ostracize members of that community. I think we're making great progress, but obviously leaders and every one of us has to be responsible for just increasing the acceptance of members of the pride community here. So we have a long ways to go, but I'm looking forward to helping support efforts to do so.
Thank you. And I really appreciate, because even acknowledging you are there to support them, it motivates us, right? Motivate us to go further, and we know if we need a support or resources, we can come to you. We can come to the government, we can come to the elected members. You are watching Hunny Walia shows, and we have MLA Seale Turton with us, who is providing us, he is voluntarily agreed to provide us, thanks a lot to him, to come forward and tell us how he has celebrated in past and how he will be celebrating this and in future, the Pride Month. So you just mentioned in your speech on, I'm sorry, I missed it also. Yesterday, the June the 10th, the Alberta government also celebrated the Pride Month. Could you tell us the highlights of the celebration? Because honestly, I missed it.
Yeah, no, and obviously, again, this was something that I know Minister here was fundamental in helping put forth. Obviously, we would love to be able to have an in-person Pride celebration and flag raising. Unfortunately, again, because of COVID, we can't, but I am looking forward to those in-person gatherings next year. Obviously, there was, I know it was talks from the Minister as well as Chevy Rabbit as well, who has been just a tremendous leader regarding gender inclusivity here in the province. Very, very thankful for that. And I know that a number of MLAs were in attendance from right across the province, showing their support. So I know it was a little bit more subdued than maybe past years, but again, I'm looking forward to next year's celebration when we can all meet in person. And in a very similar fashion, that kind of how we did the first year when our government won the election after 2019. And I think next year is going to be even better than that celebration. But I'm very thankful for all the elected officials that were able to join, as well as all the speakers. And it was a great event. And my only regret is that it wasn't in person. But like I said, COVID is ruining a lot of parties this year. But next year we'll make up for it.
I really appreciate, and I agree with you. When I spoke to Minister Ayer, she said after the COVID is over, we are going to have a hug festival.
A minister here she's totally legitimate, where she wants to hug people so bad. And so I think COVID has probably been the hardest on Minister here in that regard. So the second the restrictions come off, Minister here is going to be out there pretty well hugging. She's got about 4.3 million hugs to give to the province of Alberta, and she's definitely the one to do it. So.
And I'm a hugger too. I love meeting people and connecting people, shaking hand, hugging hand. So that's what I'm missing. And then when we were talking, right, I said, let's do the virtual hug. But come back to the COVID, now the restrictions are getting over. We are on phase 2, and we will be moving shortly to phase 3. And then we are Canada Day celebration and moving forward. What your thoughts are, how we are progress, how the government is doing, how the community is supporting and coming forward to this?
Well, I mean, COVID, it wouldn't be a podcast or an interview without COVID obviously being mentioned. I mean, this has obviously been top of mind for Albertans for the last 14 and 15 months. And so, but we're almost to the end. Just yesterday, I believe it was, we entered the next stage for greater freedoms being put out in terms of larger groups outside, being able to meet, restaurant dining. But I know everyone is anxiously waiting for stage 3. And a key part of that is going to be relying upon our herd immunity, our group protection levels for vaccines, which is going to be at 70%. And so I have full confidence that we're going to be at those numbers here very shortly. And so when the Premier says that we're going to have the best summer ever, I totally believe him, because already Stampede received an exemption to be able to put the rodeo in place. So I know a lot of people in Southern Alberta are going to be interested with having that celebration down in Calgary. But more important than that, it's going to be about families coming together. It's going to be about grandparents being able to visit their grandkids, kids having play dates at other households. I'm excited about this summer. It's been a long 14 months. I know COVID's been tough on a lot of families and businesses, but we're almost through this. And so just a couple more weeks to go.
I 100% agree. And so trust me, we will send you the invitation to our Hug Festival.
Perfect. I look forward to coming.
So the next question, like, you have been a city councillor, you have involved with the construction, you have worked in the Ministry with the Labours and Environment and Park, and it's a taboo there, right, in the industry or trade industry about when you have a sexual orientation which is different than other people. We have come forward, but a lot need to be done. Yeah. What you think, what your thoughts are, how we can move or make these areas more comfortable for everyone?
Well, it's again, like what I was saying earlier, it's not just a case, I think, specifically of the construction industry, it's society as a whole. And I think we do have to be more accepting of each other, regardless of the individual sector. Like I said, regardless if you're in construction or your oil field, but you could be an accountant. And I do think we are making strides. Compared to the attitude that people had in the late 90s, when I was in high school or something like that, it wasn't something you talked about. It was something that was taboo, but it has changed. And now we can have pride celebrations in an open and transparent manner. People don't have to hide their gender preferences anymore. You see even little things, for example, about pronouns on social media, people acknowledging that this is an important item for many people. And so, like I said, we have a long ways to go still, but just I think the steps that general society is taking, and now that you see so many other elected officials on, putting forth non-discrimination bylaws on both the federal, provincial, and municipal levels. It all ties in together, I think, to really create a spirit of acceptance for society. Again, granted, and a lot of work still has to be done, but compared to where we were just even a couple decades ago, it's refreshing to see the change that has happened in so many people's hearts regarding this issue.
Thank you. You're watching Hunny Walia shows. I'm your host, Sonal Fool. This month, we have completed our first year, and we are celebrating our birthday with you. If you are part of any business organization and would like to promote your business through Hunny Walia shows, please contact us. We will advertise your business. We will create awareness about your business and organization without any cost. Your first month will be free, no obligation. Please do contact us. We also do different shows. Please send us your views, your recommendations, and what the shows you would like to see. Cheryl, thanks for taking the time to come forward. What message would you like to give to our viewers?
Well, it's obviously, I know what pride is top and foremost on many people's minds, but also just like this weather outside is just absolutely beautiful. We've kind of gone through a bit of a dark time as a province for the last 14 months. I would just ask for everyone, sunny times are ahead and better times are ahead, right? And so COVID is coming to an end. Get outside, enjoy the company of others in a COVID-safe manner for these last couple of weeks before everything opens up. We're going to have a great summer coming up here. But in the meantime, everyone enjoy your local Pride festivities. And just as the Premier said, enjoy the best summer ever. So I'm very appreciative of the chance to chat with you, Sonny, on today's show.
Thank you, sir. You're watching Hunny Walia shows, as MLA said. Enjoy and stay safe. be aware, acknowledge, and be respectful to everyone, because it's not what you say, how we say it, and it could be a part of the harassment, it could be a part of violence, and we may hurt directly, indirectly or unconsciously someone's feeling. Please watching Honey Walia shows. And once again, MLA Turton, thanks a lot for coming forward and sharing your knowledge with us. Thanks a lot. Stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.